Wo Long Fallen Dynasty. I didn't even know this game was releasing this soon. I heard about it a while back and that was pretty much it. I didn't even know it was the new game by Team Ninja, which immediately made me interested. So I downloaded the demo and I'm here to tell you guys how the combat system is, how the game plays, and what type of potential that it has. Now, if you're not familiar with Team Ninja, they made Ninja Gaiden, and then in the newer games, they made Neo, they made Strangers of Paradise, Final Fantasy Origin, and now this is their new game, Wo Long Fallen Dynasty, and the demo was actually pretty damn good. I was playing it on a PlayStation 5, and the game held 60 FPS in performance mode pretty much the whole time. It did drop here and there when a lot of crap happened on screen, so maybe they could tune it up, but I think this demo is pretty much the final build. There's actually more story than I thought there was going to be. It's a Souls-like, which they usually like to make, and I didn't think there was going to be cutscenes like this. It actually seemed slightly interesting. Some of the dialogue was bad, but some of it was actually intriguing, and it's set in the Three Kingdoms period of China. So shifting away from Japan and going to China, so that's super interesting. There's also a character creator, which I didn't expect. I thought this game had a protagonist, but no. You have a character creator, and there's a decent amount of options, and the graphics are actually decent. The character models look pretty good. Now, the first thing I noticed when moving around is the game is extremely responsive, which is really good. Now, pretty much when a game is this responsive, sometimes things look slightly jank, but pretty much all the movements looked good, but it felt great. And when you attack, there's not too long of a buffer. Like when you attack, it is going to happen, and it's really quick. One interesting thing about this game is that the L1 button is your block, but your parry is on your circle button. You have to double tap circle to dodge, so your regular circle click is a parry. This is interesting, but really cool because you could keep blocking and then parry when you want to, which lets you get really in the heat of battle and be aggressive. There seems to be your typical bonfires, but they're flags, and they seem to give you stats every time you hoist them, and there's a bunch of different upgrades and like a skill tree. It's all your typical action RPG Souls-like stuff here. The environments were cool enough, but I really hope the game is not just linear path through linear path into a boss fight. We've seen that too many times these days, and as slick as the combat is and how fun it was, I don't want to see the same thing over and over again. I'm hoping the game actually surprised me with its level design and story once I get the full game. I only had a couple to a few different enemy types to test out, and none of them were really hard. Now, I play a lot of these games on hard mode, so I was pretty used to the combat within like 2 minutes, but it was still somewhat challenging up until the boss. Now, once you got to the boss, the first phase is nothing too crazy. It is pretty spectacular in its scale and how close you could get when you're fighting him. The song was also really good, I want to highlight, and it wasn't too hard, but then it actually surprised me with a second phase, and the second phase kicked my ass, which I was very happy about. So this game will definitely have its fair share of challenge. All the basic enemies running around though were pretty much a pushover, but I'm assuming we'll start getting some obnoxious enemy types later down the line, ramping up the challenge. Another interesting thing with combat is when a boss does a big glowing red attack, usually in every other action game you have to dodge these, except for very few. Like I know Sekiro, you have the Mikri counter and you could do it, but this game you could actually parry all of these red giant attacks, and usually it'll give you a big damage boost or let you do some cool little finisher. I really enjoy this. You could pretty much stay aggressive the entirety of the time in this game, at least for what I played in the first boss in the demo. So this game has the typical trigger buttons, do a special move or magic, but I like it. They have both at the same time. So you can have spells on your R1 trigger and then special attack moves on your R2 trigger. So it seems like you'll be having a lot of moves you could do at once. Your triangle also does heavy attacks while your square does light attacks. So this game is going to have a lot to work with, and I think when you get really good at it, you could do some really cool shit. Especially because this game does not limit you in terms of aggression. And when I saw from this first boss, it does not look like this game is going to make you be defensive, maybe with some certain giant enemies, but this guy was one of those heavy attackers that usually you have to like dodge a lot, but man, I was parrying him, I was taking him down, really getting in the thick of it, so there's a lot of potential in this combat system. I couldn't tell you too much on the story. The characters seem fine enough, and I'm slightly intrigued. I would definitely say if you're a Souls fan or action RPG enjoyer, you should definitely download the demo. I wouldn't say buy the game outright, but if you are a fan of Team Ninja like I am, then I would definitely say this is probably worth your buy. Again, the demo is right there for download. You could try it out yourself. I saw a demo for PS4 and PS5 as well, so I'm not sure about the older gen differences, but the game doesn't seem too taxing, so it'll probably be 30 FPS, but what are you gonna do? They're making games for new gen these days. It was so fun to play though because I actually forgot this game existed. I did not know it was going to come out this soon. So to download a demo and to be like, okay, let's see what this is. And to be pretty surprised how fast it was. It felt more like the old Ninja Gaiden games, and that was really fun to me. Like, you could hop around like crazy. The parkour in it was really fun. So that actually was the funnest part to me. So pair that aggressive combat with this parkour system, it pretty much has me. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Let me know what you think of Wo Long Fallen Dynasty. Let me know, did you try the demo? Are you buying it day one? I know some of my friends are getting the definitive edition. So yeah, I will see you guys in the next video, and let me know what you guys think.